Okay, people who are coming to this channel for the very first time, I'm Srinivasan, a fine art photographer, a long distance skater coming from India. Who we have here is the wonderful human being I've ever met in my life, Miss Lena Meringdal, owner of Melonenkacke Longboards. She holds the title for world record, skating maximum distance with the skateboard in UK grounds. Okay, and she recently made a course record with Miami Ultraskate 2025. So welcome to this interview.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's great to be back and talk with you again.
Absolutely great. Absolutely great. So, how did you prepare for your Miami Ultraskate 2025? It was a winter and snowing in the Netherlands. And did you have any strategy considering the weather was opposite condition in Miami?
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so winter training is rather hard here because it gets so cold. And my local trainings route, which is the Venmanweg, always goes up a little bit. And after 20 kilometers, you usually face ice on the ground then. So that's why I normally cannot skate during the winter and I go on the foot bike instead. But in October last year, I tried out a local cycling park, which is basically a square route around it, and inside there are like some other routes with like 20 degrees of incline. And that has smooth pavement, and it's flat, and it's in a lower area where it doesn't get icy. So I actually could skate weekly, except for when it was snowing, during the winter. So I did that and used that for winter training. It was like mentally really hard because these were like 1 kilometer laps, and then you see the same thing over and over again, and that's for many weeks, every week. That was like really hard to do that. But yeah, and then other than that, just like clothes wise, you have to prepare yourself for the winter. So having warm clothes with you, like those thermal layers for upper body, but also for the legs. And yeah, I feel like you have to eat more during the winter, so I needed more potatoes. That's something I changed for winter training. But yeah, other than that, it's just hard, but you just gotta continue. And something I have to add, when it's cold, you're actually slower. It's more exhausting to work out. I think I was reading about it, like the air is more dense, so you have more resistance. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I would say that, like, whatever the reason is, it's definitely more exhausting. And when you then go into a warm country, you're about 10 to 15% faster. And that's something I could notice in Miami. I could suddenly skate 20 kmh again, which wasn't really possible except maybe on like faster sprints in the winter for me. So when you switch over to Miami, of course, it's warm there, usually above 20 degrees Celsius. And like we were lucky with the calmness of the warmth there. It can be over 30 degrees Celsius, which is
Wow.
a pretty big difference to like facing 0 degrees or 2 or 4 degrees to switch there. But yeah, that's just how it is. Plan in some days earlier. Get used to the weather, wear sunscreen, and then you're fine.
That's awesome. So you did almost like 20 hours of practice. How much did it go every week?
Oh no, not that much. I could not do that. I think I did like one big skate usually a week, which was 4 or 5 hours long, and then maybe a
Mhm.
smaller one or two. So I would say like 7, 8 hours a week training, and then also actually in between less because I set up the new workshop and I had to work there.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
didn't have much time in that regards. But therefore, I'm really
Congratulations.
surprised how well it went.
Yeah, yeah, of course, of course. And congratulations for your new workshop. It looks amazing.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So this question is for people traveling from Europe to the United States of America for an event like what you did. Like what kind of questions did they ask you during the visa interview? Can you also share details about ticket expenses, luggage, carry-on items, and phone communications, and all that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I didn't get like questions specifically like personally asked for the visa. You have to do a ESTA, I think it's called, application, and basically, yeah, it's an online form which you fill out, and
Hmm.
then you have to just wisely answer the questions. They ask you questions with, do you do regularly drugs? Do you have these kind of illnesses, etc. And of course, like, no, you don't. And like, depending on how you answer, I think it's also, I think, family of me, he was a professional race cyclist. He was in one of those countries where the states was in war with.
Mm.
And they ask you, in what kind of countries have you been before? And if you say one of these countries, then yeah, you are asked to meet up with the people, and then they want to know everything, like, why have you been there? What is
Mm.
your political view, and everything like that. So yeah, but usually it's fine. So like, for me, it's fine. And I did not have like any kind of personal questioning.
No,
They approved my application, and that's great.
that's
So yeah,
awesome.
just answer the questions wisely. And then
Your luggage, carry-on items, phone, eSIM or something you said to me earlier.
yeah, exactly. So we traveled by plane, of course, to the States. So you have
Mm.
your plane tickets that you have to pay for. And what was cheapest for us, for our skateboards to take with us, was like extra sports luggage. So I think we called
Mm-hmm.
it, because there's not skateboard luggage, we call it surf luggage. And
Mm-hmm.
with that, you have the size of a surfboard, basically, that you can
Mm-hmm.
throw all your longboards and gear inside. It has
Mm-hmm.
to weight, like, I think it was like max 23 kilograms. So that's something you have to check. But that was great for us, because we wanted to go hiking afterwards. So we actually had snowshoes with us as well, and all kinds of gear, and big backpacks, etc. So it was great for us to have this sports luggage. And that was actually also the cheapest option. It was 75 euros. And I think like extra luggage, which is like too restricted in the size, extra normal luggage would have been more expensive. Um,
Oh,
and and then
yeah,
for
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. And then for the states itself, with yeah, getting internet or a phone number, etc. Like, there are different ways to go. Mostly you can just get a SIM card at the airport, but these ones are usually more expensive. And we just got a eSIM, which was really practical. So it was like, I think, $20 for 20 gigabytes, and that was almost enough for the entire trip. So what we didn't get with it was a phone number, and it's really
Mm.
practical to have a American phone number, or any kind of
Mm.
number when you have to log in into a new account or something, where they can send you a message to verify.
Mm.
So we
Mm.
got an American SIM card as well.
Mm.
Just a cheap one with a phone number. I think it was from T-Mobile. It was like $15, and it was the cheapest option we could get.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
and with that, if you, for example, want to grab a Lyft, or Uber or anything like that, you need
Mm.
that phone number and you have it. So that was very practical.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. Hopefully, it'll be helpful for other people who are traveling to US, especially for the events like this. So,
Yeah,
how did
absolutely.
you? Yeah, yeah. Thank you. So, how did you plan your trip to the United States of America, USA? How many weeks before the event did you travel to the USA for Miami Ultraskate 2025? Because like time zones vary, your jet lag and stuff like that.
Yeah, if it comes to planning, I have to thank Viola a lot for it. So I was really,
Mhm.
really busy with my workshop, and also I had to finish 13 boards before leaving, and it was so
Mm.
exhausting. So I was working till late in the night every day. But
Mm.
Viola, she read little books of where to go, and we wanted to see a lot of nature, of course. And she planned the route for us after Miami. on how we would travel, and that was perfect. She did an amazing job at that. So unfortunately, I could not help her out, but yeah, I'm very grateful for all the work that she did in that regards. We
Awesome.
arrived, I think, 5 days earlier, 5 days before the
Ah.
Miami Ultraskate. The nice thing is, always when you're traveling west, the jet lag isn't that bad. It's only when you're traveling east, like when went to
Oh.
Singapore, the jet lag was crazy bad. But to the west, to the States, it's a very easy adjustment. So, I mean, you just have to stay up a little bit longer, and then you are already used to the time. So, I don't think we really had a big jet lag. And if we had a jet lag, it was actually helpful on the Miami Ultraskate because we got used to waking up earlier. And we are both wake up rather late, personally. So that was great. And yeah, weather adjustment that also just happened on the go. Just go out and skate and see the city, and that way you adjust yourself and acclimatize properly.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So, what are the essentials to carry as a distance skater when transitioning from a cold weather of the Netherlands to a warm temperature of Miami? Like wherein you need to plan for a 24-hour event in this case,
Oh, okay, yeah. So, like next to your normal gear, like board and helmet, I would say sunscreen and just very light clothes that breathe really well. What, for example, Stefan had that was really practical was like a specific kind of towel, which you wet, and that cools down. So you while skating, you can put it on your neck or anywhere where it is too warm. I think Viola put it under her helmet. That helps. And this towel, you can just like do this, and then it gets cold again when it's warm. So you have all these kind of like things that make sure that you can cool down a little bit. So what we used as well were like plastic zip bags, which we used for the potatoes, and we just filled it with ice, and then we could cool down a little bit while the sun was shining so strongly. Because the track also it's pavement everywhere, so you don't have anything green which can cool you down. So the track itself gets warm, so also the heat is going up from down there. So yeah, it's good to have something that cools you down a little bit.
Awesome. Awesome. So, who did you meet before the event? What was your first impression of the Homestead Miami Speedway NASCAR racetrack?
Yeah, so we've been skating around the city a lot, so that was cool. And when you are there before the event and you just skate along Miami Beach, there's this beautiful bike path that's even lighted up in the dark. It's amazing for skating. We had so much fun there. You will come across Christian skaters because everybody just skates there and just enjoys it. So I think we accidentally run across Gustas and Rusney beforehand, and also Janaya and the complete New York crew was there, so we also met them. And then there was this cool meeting at the Skateboard Miami. This is like a skate park, but like really cool. They have like mega ramps going into it, and they even have a little bar. And people were doing yoga there, and you have the place from Kelly where she does all this gaming stuff, where people can go there to game. So that's a really cool place, and they organized this event in the evening where you could meet up with everybody. So yeah, there we met up with so many people. So obviously Kelly, which was great to see. It was great to see her and Jonah. And then who did we have? Corey, Gavin, Christina, Daniel. Then we had some dudes from Canada who, by the way, they couldn't skate at all during winter. They just went to
Oh,
because it's so cold
oh,
there.
yeah.
So Yeah, and Joe, I had the chance to chat with Joe Mazzone. That was cool.
Oh, that's amazing.
I did not know what to expect from Joe. You only see like when he's skating or his stuff in the stories in the
Yeah, yeah.
ambulance. But he
Uh,
seems to be like a more calm person and really thoughtful when answering questions. So yeah, it was cool to talk to him. I really enjoyed that. Um,
Amazing.
yeah, I'm not sure if there probably were more people. That we met up with. Oh yeah, we met up with Landy, Megan, Kurt. Yeah, amazing
Ah,
people. And of course Mark from UK, the snakeboarder. He was there as
of
well.
course. Yeah.
So the complete family just came together, and that was great to just talk with people and hear what they were planning to do on the Miami Ultra, etc. I mean, it was the first time meeting all those people that I knew from social media, but I never met
Yeah.
before in real life. So that was just epic.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I saw your clips during your event, like, and you were riding a new setup, a wooden zero rear fork, if I could call it. Tell us more about your new setup for the event, Miami Ultraskate 2025.
Yeah, I can pick it up. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. So when I was talking about the Miami Ultraskate track beforehand with the people,
Mm-hmm.
there are like a couple of things that people say. I feel like people are a little bit traumatized by the Miami Ultraskate track
Mm-hmm.
because the one thing they always say is, "Oh my God, the pavement is so rough on some sections, and you're gonna suffer there." And I think the other thing is like, "Oh, the track is so small, and you're just gonna skate a loop all the time, and you'll feel like you're in a cave or something like that." So I was like, I'm not sure what I should expect there. But I'm also not taking Miami too seriously, and I see it as a training for the Dutch Ultraskate. But
Oh,
still, I wanted to adjust it a little bit to Miami because of the crazy rough pavement. So if you ask me my impressions about it, I was really surprised by how well the Miami Ultraskate track is. So it has
yeah.
mostly super, super smooth pavement where you can pump amazingly on and you can push
Awesome.
amazingly on. And there are like two
Awesome.
little sections
Uh-huh.
because it's a NASCAR track. In the curves, it goes up a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and down then again. And you have two sections. One time when you're going up after the finish line, there's a
Mm-hmm.
rough section, and then on the other side into the finish line going down, there's also a rough section. Going down, you can just like roll over it and tuck, so it's fine. And going up, you have to push through it. But yeah, you get used to it. It's really not that bad. The rest of it is amazing, and these are only small sections. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I think the track was great, and you can definitely skate records there, as it has been shown and proven by Joe that you can do that. Um,
Cool.
so,
Yeah.
but still, so I heard about the bad pavement. So like that's not the reason for my bigger megawatt wheels. I tried
Mm-hmm.
those on the Dutch Ultraskate last year, and I
Mm-hmm.
skated 21.5 kmh average when I was moving.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I thought, okay, when I go back there for the 24-hour event, I'm definitely gonna take those wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mazzone also did his world record on those wheels now at the Miami
Oh.
Skate. So he had two setups. He had one, I think, with tailwinds, which he tried, but I think like 95% or something like that. He said he skated on megawatts. So
Oh.
these are really great wheels. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wanted to take those definitely just to get used to like the bigger wheel feeling because you push a little bit differently with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not used to it, you can get injuries. So I wanted to see, will I get an injury from it? Will it be
Mm-hmm.
fine? It was totally fine. So I got used to it. I trained on it in the winter, so they are great. I can only recommend them because they also pump really well. So I think it's difficult to find a 90 millimeter wheel, a bigger wheel that pumps so well. And I think they really nailed it. They have this concave contact patch, which also the
Mm-hmm.
Alphas have, and the Alphas are like my all-time favorite pumping wheels. And this
Mm-hmm.
concave contact patch, it just gives you a little bit more rebound when it's flexing while pumping.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm.
but the tail, you asked about that. Okay, wait, sorry, I have to guess. First of all, this board itself is also a prototype. I made a
Uh-huh.
Scion Speed Light.
Okay.
It's about 100 grams lighter. I'm not sure if 100 grams is worth it, but it's also flexier. So
Definitely.
it's made for lightweight people out there who want
Mm-hmm.
a deeper flex.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see if I can show you that. Um, it's really flexy.
Mm.
I can bottom it out easily. So if I just put it here, I can show you that. And that's how
Oh
you bottom.
boy. Yeah.
It's really flexy, but um, it doesn't feel flexy when you skate on it. It doesn't
Uh-huh.
feel uncontrollable or so, and you don't
Mm-hmm.
bottom out when pumping on it actually. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I thought, okay, rougher pavement, I will make my board a little bit more flexy,
Mm-hmm.
just to have this added comfort. And the tail itself is also
Mm-hmm.
flexy. So the tail they
Ah.
comes out of the MK XLE truck, which I also
Mm-hmm.
have on the platy pusher. It's designed around it. And then I
Mm-hmm.
figured, why not make a separate platy pusher tail to
Mm-hmm.
mount on a normal Procyon, so everybody can skate a platy pusher themselves.
Mm.
And the cool thing about this is that it's very modular. So when you look
No.
at it, I put risers in between, and
Uh-huh.
you can put the amount of risers in between that you need. So I put more risers in between to make up for the bigger wheels. But you
Mm-hmm.
could also use less risers or no risers. You could also top mount it here on the
Mm-hmm.
bottom if you want a
Mm-hmm.
higher setup, which is better for pumping, but then less
Mm-hmm.
ideal for pushing. So you have a lot of options with it.
Mm-hmm.
I could also adjust the tail's length. I could make
Oh.
a longer wheelbase or a shorter wheelbase. I can
Mm-hmm.
reinforce it to the weight of the rider, so I could make it stiffer or flexier. I could
Mm-hmm.
allow different kind of flexes in this tail that makes it easier and better for pumping. So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, this is really
So,
cool, and no balls sticking out. I just mounted the balls the other way around. So even though
uh,
it's so flexy and so low, I only scratch it a little bit. The ball.
I understand.
And you don't get stuck. So sometimes when something is sticking out, you get stuck on the
Mm-hmm.
bump. The board makes an
Yeah.
instant stop, and you crash forward.
Yeah.
I just roll over it. I have some scratches. That's fine.
That's awesome. So you did ride your Melonenkacke trucks in UK Ultraskate, or like this is the very first Ultraskate you're riding in?
Oh yeah, no, I also did that on the UK Ultra. So the MK Space truck, I skate on the UK Ultra, and also the XLE truck. So both of
Mm-hmm.
them I rode there, and now I just transferred it to a flexi Procyon speed deck, basically.
Oh, that's awesome. So you are adding two more flags to your trucks, actually. There's
Yeah,
been two Ultra Skates and you've tested it. So how about the wheel lift on your rear truck? It was a little bit on your UK Ultra Skate image, which we explored. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think I am developing and exploring different kind of tail constructions, so I could actually
Uh-huh.
minimize wheel lift here. I don't think I even had wheel lift, and that's
Hmm.
with the same bushing hardness that I had at
That's
UK Ultra.
awesome.
So
That's awesome.
that's really cool, and it's very interesting because these tails I can make more quickly, and it doesn't cost me as much as making platy pushers. So with these tails,
Mm-hmm.
this is the V4 tail. I had 3 other constructions in the winter in between, and I can just quickly make new ones and just try out different constructions. So to see what works best. So it's a great opportunity.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And yeah, in
So,
front.
yeah.
Ah, yeah, sorry. Ask your question.
Please go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so in front, because that should also be said, this is the Super Steady Skates drop fork. It has
Mm-hmm.
a pretty extreme drop, I think 23 millimeters, so
Mm-hmm.
that's a lot. And then I risered it as well quite a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
That's the bracket that allows me to go so low in front. And
Mm.
these things, they are really well made.
Mm.
Designed in Singapore, and I know the guy who makes these. He's also a customer,
Oh,
and he stands behind his product. So if anything happens with it, you can always contact him, and he will help you out. But so far, these things have been really great.
that's awesome. Amazing, amazing setup. So you have designed it for lightweight users, especially.
Whatever.
Ah, okay.
Could
So
you?
you can make it for heavy riders also if you want.
Oh,
Procyon.
yes. Yeah. The board. That's what we're gonna test now. The tail with some heavier riders to see how that will be holding up. The
Mm,
lightweight version of the Procyon Speed, I don't think I can make for heavier riders.
mm,
But there you have the normal Procyon Speed. It's 100 gram heavier. Doesn't matter really that much, and therefore it's durable.
yeah.
So yeah. Oh, and another thing I have to add is in front I started to skate the seismic bushings, and I've
Uh-huh.
been really surprised by them. Like
Ah,
they seem to have more rebound and rebound earlier
ah,
compared to the Riptides,
uh-huh.
and they feel more stable and defined. Like for example, when I'm pushing into a corner,
Mm-hmm.
you usually stand a little bit to the side when pushing
Mm-hmm.
so that you can turn while pushing,
Mm, mm.
and it keeps this line really well. Whereas I had with
Oh,
the tights that it is a little bit more twitchy, um,
ah,
and I feel like in winter, usually what you have with bushings, they get harder in the winter. I don't think the seismic bushings have that much.
mm,
And they seem to be really durable to me, so I'm quite happy with them.
mm,
Actually, I'm really surprised. So I did not
mm.
expect them to work so well, and I can
That's
totally
awesome.
recommend them in combination with the MK Space Truck.
Awesome, awesome. So you mean to say like these bushings will work for winter as well as a weather like Miami?
Can you repeat that?
You mean to say like it will work for winter in Netherlands and also weather like Miami, USA?
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely. Yeah. Normally in winter, bushings get harder and it's harder to pump, but
Mm, mm.
they don't have that issue. Yeah, which is
That's
cool.
awesome.
Who would have
Awesome.
guessed? I did not expect that.
Thank you, thank you, thanks for sharing that sweet amazing detailed view of your board and your intentions and everything, and you got us the complete view of your like how low it can get, how much it can touch the floor and stuff like that. It was very detailed. Thank you.
Yeah,
So yeah.
absolutely. And on the Miami Ultraskate, that should be said as well. I pumped 50% of the time. I did not
Oh,
expect that myself, but I did half of it. I pumped. Um,
awesome, awesome, awesome.
and when it's so low, you have less leverage on the board. So usually
Mm,
pumping is more difficult, and that's the surprising thing about it. Pumping is really
yeah.
easy still on this setup.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I was going to ask you this now. So can you split your experience of Miami Ultraskate 2025 into two parts, as in like daytime and the nighttime? What was it like skating through each 12 hours?
Yeah, so during the daytime, I was skating with Viola.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's always great because then we just talk and we do stupid things, and that keeps your mind off what you're actually doing. And I actually had like this naive thought, like, oh, maybe I can bring Viola to 250 miles. So
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like maybe that's possible, but that depended on her injury if it would be fine or not for her. Unfortunately, not. But
Oh.
yeah, that was a cool thought. And like during the day, you see all the people, you meet with them, you talk
Mm,
with them. So yeah, we had in between we had some train activity, like not for very long unfortunately, but maybe like an hour with Freddie Mercury and
ah.
Kevin.
Uh-huh.
So that was cool. We could talk to Landy, we could talk to Corey and Janaya.
Ah. Ah.
So um, that was awesome. And
Mm-hmm.
during daytime until about 23 or half past 11 in the evening or the night. I was supported by Megan, who was so kind to hand me new bags of potatoes and refill my bottles. Yeah, so
Headwinds? Any headwinds during daytime and nighttime?
yeah, there were headwinds. I have to think. Yeah, there were headwinds. When you go into the finish line, there was a headwind, so you have to go up against the headwind. It's a little bit exhausting, but therefore on the backstretch you had a tailwind, and you could just pump this complete backstretch. I was
Awesome,
like,
awesome.
as if there was nothing. So what I heard was that usually it's the other way around. You have tailwind when going into the finish line, and headwind in the when you're on the opposite side. And what a lot of people said is like, this way it was easier, and you could pump more, basically. So that was cool, and I'm very happy that we had it this way.
Awesome.
The sun was pretty warm at a certain point, so I think we hit 27 degrees, which I heard it's pretty mellow for Miami, so we were lucky with the weather. But yeah, of course, you're overheating, and you gotta deal with that. So we filled, like I said, our potato bags with ice. We had Tall, he gave us one of his cooler boxes, that are insulated, where you put in ice. So we had that for our water. And yeah, we took the ice cubes out in our little plastic bags and tried to cool down a little bit this way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, one thing should be said is, if you have this cooler box, maybe you should put in your cooked potatoes in there. If not, they will turn bad while in the heat. We did not do that. So so it was fine for the first hours, but at a certain point, I think that was hour 10 or 11, where it was getting dark, I noticed, shit, those potatoes, they taste bitter and not so good anymore. What's going on? And I realized that I was eating rotten potatoes for a couple of hours.
Okay.
So yeah. But that was the beginning of the night time, basically. So Viola left there because she had her injury, so she could not continue. It was a wise choice for her. But it's pretty sad, because then I was all alone. So I was all alone, and my stomach did not feel good at all anymore.
Oh boy.
I could not eat potatoes anymore, but what I had with me anyways was, I've been trying to drink Scratch. They have like a high carb powder, and basically this is not like a classic sugar powder with like very short chained carbohydrates. Like, if I would describe it like a fluid potato drink, they have like longer chain carbohydrates. It doesn't taste sweet at all. I think it's from cornstarch or something like this. And this is what they mix with the water. And like, I have a fast metabolism, so for me, like, drinking sugary drinks, that doesn't work at all. I just like get this and I don't feel well. But that stuff really works for me. So I continued drinking that. And I had these gels, Morton gels, and they are sugary, but that's okay, like, to have that in between. So I consumed one of these each hour, and one of the bottles with Scratch every hour, from the point on that I realized that I was eating rotten potatoes. And my stomach never recovered from it. I can tell you, I went to the porta potty. That was my life savior on the side of the track every hour. It's maybe an unconfident topic for some people, but I am gonna tell you, probably half of the shit was from me in there. So, that was terrible. So yeah, if you would calculate that, so I probably did like 10 porter potty stops in a complete Ultraskate. If you say like 2-3 minutes, that would be done 20-30 minutes that I did not skate because of that. So I probably could have skated more laps, but that's
Yeah.
how it is. You
It's
gotta learn
nature's
from it.
call. Yeah. If you gotta
Yeah,
go,
and
you
you
gotta go. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. That's just
Yeah.
how it is. But yeah, so in the night, the cool thing is there's light on the track.
Mm.
So you don't really get this sense of getting tired during the night that much
Ah,
as you have in the Netherlands or
daytime. Yeah.
in UK. And that's one of the big advantages of this track. And that's also probably one of the reasons why people can skate world records there.
Mm-hmm.
Next to that, it has mostly smooth pavement, but this is like really a big advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, during the night it gets a little bit more calm. But what I had was every lap there were people just cheering.
That's
So
awesome.
it kept you going.
Ah.
And what they have as well is they have a mic and they're connected to the speakers. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go into the finish line, they can tell you, "Oh, this is Lena Meringdal. She just did 100 miles or something like that," and that's also big
That's
motivation.
awesome. That's a
Um,
great, company sort, like when you're alone, skating alone and stuff like that. In the
mm,
pit crew.
yeah, absolutely. But though I have to say, I was suffering a lot, and I didn't feel like skating 250 miles.
But you
Like
did.
from the beginning on,
Mm.
I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna be there because like 3 days after the ultra skate, I was gonna start hiking in the mountains. Like you cannot completely destroy yourself if you want to still hike afterwards. So that was really like this difficult issue. Like, okay, so I'm not gonna completely destroy myself, only a little bit. Is this even worth it doing? Why should I do this? Like if you go all in, you go all in, but you cannot go half baked in. So that really was difficult for me to like motivate myself to continue skating, but also just to like start skating. So yeah, but therefore all the people were there and they were just motivating me on to skate. I remember it was getting that bad that I was like, I don't want to do 50 miles, but maybe I can go for the victory if I now stay with Corey and we can just skate together and have a good time. Then I would have the
Oh,
victory, and it doesn't matter about what kind of distance we make. And then
mm-hmm.
Corey was just like, you're gonna crush that record. You just keep continuing. So then I was
Mm-hmm.
continuing again and left alone.
Ah,
And it was good that she said that. Like, thank you so much for uh,
ah,
telling me to continue. It was very well worth it in the end.
cool.
And what I also had was Paul. Paul just said, "Call me anytime. I have my phone on, even during the night, to help you out."
That's awesome.
So I called him and I asked him about my pace, and then like it feels in the night, it feels like you're going like 10 kmh, like you're not moving forward anymore. But in reality, you are not. In reality, you're going maybe 16 kmh or 17 kmh. So
Mm.
Paul calculated my pace. And told me what pace I needed for example, 250 miles. And I was always like 1 or 2 kmh above it. And I was like, oh, wow,
Mm-hmm.
then I could even slow down and it will be fine.
Mm.
So that really helped me. And then during the night, I had another call with Paul. We just talked 1 hour long on the phone.
Wow.
Uh,
Nice.
just keeping my mind off things and talking about like I think he went juggling etc and what he accomplished there and
Mm.
I talked with him about some technical stuff and how impressed I am from the board. It was really a big surprise to me that it was working
That's
so well.
amazing. That's amazing. He
um,
was there with you in UK Ultraskate as well, right? In the last 4 hours leg of
yes,
making a world record. So yeah,
yeah,
he knows
I
your
think.
pulse. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Ah.
think if somebody has a big impact on like these record skates, then it's Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Paul and Viola, both of them. They have
That's
the
awesome.
big
That's
impact
amazing.
always. So I'm
Oh.
really
Mm,
grateful for that.
mm, mm.
And I think the call stopped when I had to go shit again.
Uh,
It's like, Paul, I have to stop now. It's really urgent.
uh, yeah. Mm,
One thing that I think I will do differently in the night in the Netherlands is like one big mistake was I was still skating in my shirt during the night in
mm, mm,
Miami, and I
mm,
thought, oh, it will be
mm,
fine. I'm not gonna stop for putting on
mm,
something
mm,
warmer, even though it feels a little bit fresh. I was getting
mm,
really cold, and when you're
mm,
cold, you get sleepy actually because your body is
mm,
shutting down. So
mm,
I
mm,
was getting so incredibly sleepy in
mm,
the last like I don't know 5 to 3 hours or something like
mm,
that.
mm, mm.
And I was taking caffeine pills and nothing was working until I put
Oh.
on this sweater over me, and suddenly I felt like my body was working again. Suddenly I was awake,
Ah.
and I could actually skate. And that's
Mm,
that's the crazy thing that happens then for I don't know, like for the last 2 3 hours I suddenly was skating 18 19 km/h. I was going for 730 laps, and
that's
I was
amazing.
just like
Mm.
suddenly, and I was like, "Where's this coming from?" Okay, I'm not questioning. It's amazing. Um, and then
Yeah.
Viola came back
Mm,
from her sleep, and the
mm,
last 2 hours I skated with her. She skated in
mm,
front of me, and
mm,
I've just followed her.
mm,
And that was just crazy. I did not expect that. So we were overtaking people like hell. The only person overtaking us, of course, was Joe. He was going
mm,
completely all in.
mm, mm,
um, we did that, and then like the last like I you know you're so dead in your brain, you do not know what to expect. So but then in the last couple of laps I realized, oh my god, I am short before 250 miles. And then on the mic they were telling that, and I was like going to the lap, and I was like, oh my god, I'm starting crying, and
no.
I had to continue skating, but I had tears in my eyes that I
Mm,
somehow did that.
mm, mm,
Like with this like little training I had in the winter, with like all the
mm,
work I had to do in the workshop, that I still somehow
mm,
managed to skate 250 miles, and that I was gonna break the course record on Miami. Like
mm,
how I did not expect that at all. But I was continuing skating with my tears in the eyes, and
mm,
then like one thing I noticed was like the last lap. Viola asked me, "Are we gonna skate 1 or 2 laps?" And I just looked at it at the time, and it was 14 minutes and 30 seconds left. And I thought we were doing like 730 laps. So I was like, "No, we cannot do 2 laps. We won't make it." But this last lap, that was a 7:11 lap. It was so fast. I could have done
mm,
another lap. I stopped. I didn't know, but I
mm,
wish I would
mm.
have continued
Oh.
to just skate one more lap, because
Mm,
then
mm,
I think I would have like gotten officially third place of all. And now, while there
mm,
was this shared third place, but Andy on his sub skate, and honestly, that's way more difficult as that what was I was doing. But
mm, mm,
Andy,
mm,
um, he was earlier in the finish line, so he took the third place. That's a new
mm,
rule they did.
mm, mm,
But yeah, otherwise I would have done third place, and
mm.
almost like a shared second place with the dude of the second place, because he had the same distance then with me. But that's how it is.
Yeah, it sounds like a amazing journey that you did all alone, and you had people with you, but like it's you. You have to do it. Like you don't have any substitute. Like you have to do it despite having, bad gut health. And during that hour, caffeine pills were challenging you, many things, but you came out shining. That's amazing. So
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
yeah. Like if I look back, like at UK, I had quite a lot of support where I could
Your
draft
mom was
behind me.
there. Mm.
Yeah, of course, and I could
Gluten-free
draft behind me
breads.
later.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and at the Miami, I just had that the last 2 hours, and the
Mm,
rest I did all alone, and that
mm,
was I don't know. It felt more like I did this myself this time in
Mm.
Miami than in the UK. So I feel really proud of that.
Awesome, awesome. So, what were your expectations before the event, and what were your thoughts after completing Miami Ultraskate 2025?
Yeah. So yeah. So again, I was like, I would like to get this, like the 250-mile trophy, like the Pantheon board that they were giving away. I thought that was
Mm.
pretty cool, uh,
Ah.
but I did not think I would do that. And
Mm.
also,
Mm.
I don't know, like there's a bit like a mental thing going on. Okay, I just skated the world record, but now I have to just continue skating like hell always,
Mm.
etc. So
Mm.
like, what do people expect from me? And it
Mm.
was all
Mm.
quite a bit of pressure.
Mm.
And I had to start hiking 3 days afterwards. And honestly, we started already hiking through Las Vegas 2 days afterwards with 30,000 steps. So yeah, I cannot do everything, and you have
Mm.
to uh yeah, to do what you think is right in that regard. So like before I thought like maybe we can do something like a group skate, like a team.
Mm.
So I hit up Corey, Viola, and Janaya, but
Mm.
Corey wanted to do alone, and then
Mm.
Janaya as well. And
Mm.
so we figured, okay, we all just go our own way. If not, that
Mm.
would have been cool.
Mm. Mm.
So that would have been an alternative to not like destroy yourself too much, so you can go hiking afterwards.
Mm. Mm.
But yeah, this way, I just said like I'm just like what is gonna be the thing that keeps you going when skating. So
Mm.
do you have a goal in your mind, and you keep going and follow that goal, of course. But I did not have a
Mm.
goal.
Mm. Mm.
And I was worried that I would just stop skating because I didn't have a goal.
Mm.
So
Mm.
I talked with Paul beforehand, and I said like, I think just like this year is gonna be my goal to just talk with the people, and cheer people on, and just enjoy it.
Mm.
And that's what I tried to do. And then at a certain point, of course, I had my race mind as well, that I wanted to continue going. Um, so yeah, I did that. So I was fueled by the motivation of others, and fueled by
Awesome.
motivating others. Um, and yeah, and like from now, when I look now at it, I'm really proud of what I did. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
really happy with that.
Yeah.
And it I don't know, it just gives you a little bit of self-esteem, and confidence, especially also
Mm.
for going into the Dutch Ultraskate, where I have my goal actually.
Mm. Mm.
Um, so yeah, I think it was a good skate, and it worked out really well. So I could hike after 3 days. It was really suffering, but I could, and
Awesome.
I couldn't have done that after the UK. I could not walk stairs anymore, etc. And now I could just walk stairs, etc. So it was fine.
Awesome. Awesome. Because like you're 24 and you've been doing a lot of things, so you gotta keep doing it. That's all I wish, like you do not know who you're inspiring. So at this age, whatever you do is just about fine and absolutely great. Okay, so thanks for inspiring us. So how
Thank
was
you.
the trophy? How was the trophy distribution ceremony after the event, and how do you compare it to your other events that you have experienced in Europe?
Yeah, it was big because we also have the inliner, etc., and they also get their trophy and have all a lot of like categories where they share a lot, and like what I got for for the 250 miles, it's like I did not expect that. Like normally we
Mm.
just
Mm.
get a trophy, but now I got a board, and then I got some bearings, inliner bearings, and they're like ceramic, titanium, gold bearings. I do not know. They're like very expensive bearings that I just got for
Oh,
skating 250 miles.
that's awesome.
It's like maybe I'll try them on the ultra skate. I do not know.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So, but honestly, it was very tiring. So I was really tired, and then we were
Mm.
sitting not outside but inside in a building, and the people were talking, and like my brain, I could not listen anymore. I had to go to the toilet all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So at a certain point, I was just half asleep there, and I hope I didn't complain too loud that I was so dead. Um, but yeah, it was really tiring. But they do a lot for the skaters, so that was really cool.
That's awesome. So, what could be improved in organizing event like Miami Ultraskate 2025? And if other Ultraskate event organizers want to learn something from Miami Ultraskate 2025, what could they can take away? Yeah,
Yeah, it's
or
a good
learn from it.
question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good question. What could be improved? Because I think it was a really good and well organized event. So
Mm-hmm.
especially also again with the people being able to talk on the mic. They even gave a little interview with me while I was skating. That was cool. I
Mm-hmm.
could share my thoughts. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Um, so I think like what I didn't like before the event was the loud music. I could not talk with the people because it was so loud. Like while skating, it's fine because it's just in the back of your head at a certain point. But like before the event, the music was just too loud to properly talk. That would be my complaining point. I do not know if they will change that. Other than that, yeah, I don't know with the trophy ceremony if they have to do it inside. Like I would have preferred this outside, just like sit down in the fresh air and have that there. I'm not sure if that's possible. They for sure have their reasons, but that's just my thought on it. And yeah, if other events can take something away from it, like I would love to have this mic with speakers. I would want that in every event. It's funny.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool. Uh, so, uh, I would say like probably you are the most celebrated person out there because you are the new kid in the block. You've done a world record, so they have been very generous and kind to you, as I understand from your
Oh
experience.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Uh,
People were also like interested to meet me and talk with me, and I could explain a bit about the boards and how I built them,
mm,
etc. So that's really
yeah.
cool. I'm not sure if I'm the most celebrated, but that doesn't matter in the end. It's just
Uh,
cool
uh,
to get people that are interested and that I can talk to.
that's awesome. So I just want to add one more thing. Like you made some Instagram posts thanking people who helped you during the event. So you want to say that again here, if you wish
Oh
to.
yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, sure. Oh God, now I have to think about everything.
Mark Harris.
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Oh God, how could I forget Mark? So excuse me, I have to go back to the night time. Mark. So after Megan was gone, Mark stepped in and he was my support, and he did an
uh-huh.
amazing job as well, just like Megan. So
Mm,
Viola showed him everything. Where all my stuff is and how I mix it, and then he just went along and did everything for me. So I'm really
mm,
grateful for that. Mark, by the
mm,
way, I'm really happy to have met him. He seems to be
mm,
a community person. So
mm, mm,
he has the community in Florida, and he organizes these races and events, and people come together. And he was
mm,
there supporting not me, but like
mm,
many other skaters from his
mm,
crew
mm,
to for them to fulfill their dreams, and that's really cool.
mm,
So
mm,
yeah, was really happy. Also, he makes cool photos. So we had basically two photographers. You had the tribe
mm,
portraits people from organized
mm,
from Jeremiah who made these amazing pictures, and then
mm,
you also had Mark who took a lot of pictures, and they were also amazing. And he even skated a lap with me and filmed how the platy tail works, etc. So that's really cool, and I'm very happy for that. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Mark Harris, definitely. Megan,
Mm,
definitely. Viola, oh my god, I could not skate so much without Viola. It's like for skating, we just have the same mind and we just enjoy skating together. So that's great.
mm,
Then Paul,
mm,
definitely like who was gonna talk with me? Like he woke up, I don't know, at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, like which is
mm,
nighttime for him.
mm,
To just talk with me 1 hour, like who does
mm,
that? So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you so much, Paul. You're amazing. And then you have just like these kind people on the roads, like Corey, also pushing me to just not skate with her, which was very smart. Thank you very much. You have Corey,
mm,
you have Kurt, you have Landy,
mm,
you have Jeremiah, you have Shreddy, you have Stefan, and
mm,
by the way, Stefan and the whole crew with Ronnie, etc.
mm,
Like we stayed at the same apartment
mm,
the days
mm,
before and after the
mm,
Miami. Yeah, he is so kind and he is really helpful. So I'm also very happy for that.
mm.
Did I forget people? I probably did. Yeah, just like all the great faces. I think
That's
Travis as
awesome.
well. Yeah,
Mm, 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 mm.
and Andy. It's so cool to have met everybody. Oh, and Toll for the ice box and just like being an awesome dude.
Mm, mm,
Uh,
mm.
yeah, it's cool.
So when you mentioned that you got a like Pantheon supersonic deck or something, so in that way you're thanking Jeffrey Wayne also.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah. I should thank you, Jeff, for making these cool prizes. So that's really kind as well. Yeah, I agree. It
that's
will.
awesome.
I still have to hang it up in the workshop, but it will find its place there.
Cool, cool, cool. So we are coming to the last part of the interview. One final question. So, how was your experience touring USA on a a caravan, and you and Viola going to many national parks? Like how was the experience?
Yeah, completely amazing. Just too good to be true, and I would like to go back there now again. It's
Ah,
like if it's so impressive. So I mean, the States is it's a big country, right? But like
mm,
still, it's not comparable to Europe. Even though
mm, mm,
we're big in Europe, they have
mm, mm,
so many different kind of natures, and you drive through so many different kind of natures areas. They have these massive nature parks, the national parks, or state parks. They are so impressive.
mm,
It's so huge. You have these giant mountains. You have like beautiful canyons.
mm,
You have Death Valley.
mm,
It's it's like overwhelming beautiful basically,
mm,
and it was so great. Like while I was suffering quite a lot while walking, probably also because I destroyed myself a little bit too much maybe at the Ultraskate. So it was a bit painful, but it was worth it totally. We hiked every day. We hiked up some kind of mountain,
mm,
just like to see the nature there.
mm,
Wow, just beautiful. And I mean, it was quite cold, so we had like the first 2.5 weeks we were close in winter
mm,
gear,
mm,
and we had crampons with us to like
mm.
hike through like icy areas. So yeah, that was exhausting, but it was
That's
beautiful.
awesome. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I kind of remembered one thing. You do photograph, right? So you did film photography. So you have a separate Instagram handle. So did you happen to visit Ansel Adams' gallery or place in Yosemite when you went there?
No, unfortunately not. No, we
Okay.
were quite time bound, so we had to rush from place to place a little bit. So I did
Mm-hmm.
not have the chance to do that. But no, I think in Yosemite, we did this hike up to the Yosemite Falls, basically. So it
Mm-hmm.
was, I don't know, was it like 900 meters of going up? I'm not sure anymore. But it
Mm-hmm.
was quite a lot going up. And then on top, we had this beautiful view. We even hiked a little bit further to have an even better view. And then we ran down. That seemed to be like that seems to be like the most fun way for me to hike is walk up and
Mm-hmm.
run down. And then you have to think
Mm-hmm.
about how to place, and then you're like, please don't crash and stumble over a stone or something like that. So
Awesome. 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 Yeah.
we did that then, and afterwards, big amount of food that was necessary.
So then you flew back to Europe. So that was a complete story then. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
Thank.
yeah. Now I want to go back.
Yeah, people are very kind. They're very generous, actually, as I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Awesome, awesome,
People are really welcoming there. It's impressive.
awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for doing this interview, Lena. I missed many things. I'm very, very grateful. Nandri, as I would say usually in my language. So you are very, very kind, and you've been doing incredible. I wish you all the best for Dutch Ultraskate, and convey my regards to your parents as well. They must have been incredible support to you in or whatever you're doing. So thank you very much, and uh, I'll I say bye, ciao. And that's a very cool
Ciao!
one. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
very
thank
cool
you so much.
mohawk. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me again and for doing this for the skate community.
Mm,
Yeah, like those interviews and all those podcasts, etc. Like they
mm.
helped. I listened to them during winter time because it was so boring, and they helped me to keep going. So thank you for doing
Awesome.
this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's these, distance skating community which has put the trust in me. I have, like many people have many able things. They can afford very good boards, very good computers, stuff like that. I'm coming from India, and I lack many things, but people put the trust in me, and they continue to let me do this interview. Instead of saying like, okay, we'll take it from here. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. I mean, you're really curious. You want to learn more. So that's so cool. And you don't need like the super expensive setup to enjoy distance skateboarding. Distance skateboarding can be done on like a very simple street skateboard. Like you can do it on many kind of things. So
Mm,
it's not about the gear. It's about the spirit.
awesome. Thank you. That's a great learning. Thank you.